Lord, what wilt thou have me to do? Cried out the broken Saul of Tarsus. He was brought to the ground. He who until that point in time knew a lot and knew exactly what he had to do. Alas, he didn't lack goodwill, but it was not enlightened. And that can be the case of many souls, even within the Christian family. One thinks of those wrecked in the Tower of London. This brings back memories of the 25th of this month in 1997. There, at our high altar in the Abbey, our good Archbishop conferred the diaconate. It was a moment of peace, and one knew that what was told to St. Paul was also going to be told henceforth to the soul. Through obedience, it will be told thee what thou must do. From that point onwards, the ministry of the Word became very important. Indeed, I began to realize the significance of being ordained under the rule of St. Augustine, because St. Augustine lived on the orders that he and his brethren had. And we know that his words would be heard throughout the centuries. Words have long echoes and can orientate souls and therefore all eternity many times over. And it was a great blessing that when eventually 9 months later the priesthood came, the good prior started to give me all the retreats that he couldn't take on. So even while doing further studies, those were happening as well. And each one was a powerful grace, often in another country. For we had the whole monastic circuit of France at our fingertips. For the Benedictines, for instance, did not give retreats, but called upon us to give theirs. And the monastic church in France is a great bulldozer, a force to be reckoned with great authors that one can comment and study for the retreats being given. Don Delatte, Don Guéranger, even our own Don Marmion, all people moved by the Holy Ghost. And so it is to be consecrated like the apostles, configured to the high priest. One is totally heaven's, and in that wider context one understands why certain consequences naturally follow. The diaconate, one renews one's engagement to be totally chaste, and therefore available. And it is a great treasure to be maintained in the Western Church, not to be sniffed at as though it were out of date. It is not so simple having a family to cope with as well. One is hugely divided. But it can only work peacefully if the bonding is on the level of the soul, that Jesus is loved and that he is enough. Adoremus in aeternum, Sanctissimum sacramentum, laudate Dominum omnes gentes, laudate eum omnes populi, quoniam confirmata est super nos misericordia eius, et veritas Domini emanet in aeternum. Gloria Patri et Filio, et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. Adoremus in aeternum, Sanctissimum sacramentum.